government. Therefore, we'll have to keep on raising voice.
बिहार को सुधार
we have sufficient, more than sufficient. We have more than sufficient.
50 members are there. सतीश जी ज्वाइन किए हैं, सतीश जी पीएमसीएच वाले सतीश जी।
ये सतीश को नहीं देख रहे।
सतीश जी
I want to seek permission from all the dignitaries and the conveners, sir, to please allow me to start the webinar as we have a good amount of participants with us. Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Good morning and warm greeting to all the dignitaries and esteemed speaker and participants. I am Sadaf Salma, Assistant Professor at Divine College of Pharmacy, Sivan, and it is my honor to serve as a moderator for today's webinar. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. On behalf of Bihar State Branch of the Indian Pharmaceutical Association, I extend a warm welcome to everyone present over here. This one-day national program is being organized on the eve of the 54th death anniversary of Professor M.L. Shroff, sir, the father of pharmacy education in India. The theme of today's program is upcoming bachelors of pharmacy curriculum. And you B-Farm syllabus introduced by the Pharmacy Council of India has brought about vast and significant changes. As a pharmacy teaching professionals, it familiarizes ourselves with these reforms so that we can guide our students in the right directions. I would also like to share that today's webinar has been designed with a very focused approach to highlight the common elements between the previous launched PCI syllabus and the newly introduced one. This comparative understanding will help us as academicians to smoothly adapt to the transition and adapt our teaching practices accordingly. Along with being a tribute to Professor Shroff's today's session is learning opportunity for all of us to stay updated and contribute meaningfully to the progress of pharmacy education in India. For that, I'm thankful to Dr. R.N. Gupta sir, National President of IPA, Dr. Subhash Mandal sir, National Honorable General Secretary IPA, and Dr. R. Badukara sir for giving me this opportunity for moderating this webinar and allowing us us this platform for this kind of discussions. Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring us. As we gather today, it is a moment to remember and pay tribute to Professor M.L. Shroff, whose vision laid the foundation of structured pharmacy education in our country. His contribution continue to inspire generation of pharmacists, academicians, and health professionals. Before moving ahead, I want to introduce our convener. I would like to acknowledge the leadership of Dr. R. Bandyopadhyay sir, President of Bihar State Branch of IPA, who has been the guiding force behind the successful organization of this webinar. On that note, I would like to introduce my keynote speakers of this webinar. We are truly privileged to have with us three of the esteemed speakers and pharmaceutical professionals as a keynote speaker over here. Dr. R.N. Gupta sir, National President of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He has been instrumental in shaping policy decisions and strengthening the professional role of pharmacists in India. I welcome you, sir. The next speaker I have today is Honorable Dr. Bhupinder Singh Bhoop Sir, Honorable Professor of Punjab University and Professor at Chankara University, a visionary academician and researcher. He has contributed immensely to pharmaceutical science, nanomedicines, and academic reforms. The third speaker we have today is Dr. R.S. Thakur Sir, former Secretary of Pharmacy Council of India. He has played a key role in regulatory aspects and advancement of pharmacy education in India. We are deeply honored to have you all with us today. Now, I want to request Arya Bandapala Sir, President of IPA, Bihar State Branch, to please proceed with the technical session of our webinar. So I would first like to request Sir to please introduce our esteemed speakers for the keynote address on the changing dimension of pharmacy education. Please, sir.
Thanks. Actually, I'd like to request our national president, Dr. R.S. Gupta, for presidential address at the start of the program. Dr. Gupta, sir.
Respected Bhoopji, Bhoop Sahib, Professor R.S. Thakur, Professor Pyavi Verma, Dr. Mandal, Sri Ravindra Ji, ex-president Sanjeev Ji, Dr. Rakesh Sumani, and all the senior dignitaries and the participants. It is a very good occasion on the birth anniversary of our Professor M.L. Saraf. This program has been arranged. We know, first of all, I pay my tribute to Professor M.L. Saraf, who is architect of our pharmacy education. About pharmacy education, you may refer the president page of July 25, where I have elaborated about the role of Professor M.L. Saraf in establishing our pharmacy education in India. Today, I am thankful to Sri Ravindra Bandyopadhyay Ji, President IPA Bihar Branch, for organizing this seminar and inviting a prominent speaker, Professor Bhoop and Professor Ram R.S. Thakur. I am seeing here so many people, senior professionals and principals of different colleges, even PCI member Mr. Ajay joined this program. And I am hopeful that deliberation of this meeting and some conclusion will be forwarded to PCI. Regarding the syllabus, we have to go through in detail all the subjects and content of syllabus that is in the PCI website, and they have asked comment from us. As we know that after passing, say, diploma or degree in pharmacy or say PharmD, the basic degree of pharmacy to become a pharmacist, it is required that after passing, we should become a competent pharmacist. We are known as drug expert. So from this pharmacy curriculum, we have to show before the masses that I am possessing the drug knowledge. I am drug expert. So whatever the theory course prescribed by PCI, and it is being taught in pharmacy college. Now it depends upon the student whether how much he is taking up. He has to take the subject contents thoroughly so that after passing out from a institute, he should become a drug expert. As we know, after passing from a pharmacy institute, our pharmacy graduates may join drug control administration as a drug regulator, in drug industry, in manufacture and quality control of drug, sometimes as a drug researcher. Also, main job in the drug hospital, where they are doing dispensing of drug. Now, due to the advancement of pharmacy education and technology, this job of hospital pharmacist is not mere dispensing. It has been much more elaborated. Now the hospital pharmacy, modern hospital pharmacy is having in many of the hospitals. They are patient counseling, clinical pharmacy, inventory management, drug procurement, pharmacovigilance, nuclear pharmacy, so many aspects of hospital pharmacy is to be dealt with. Then in community, not only as a trade person to sell the drug in community pharmacy, the pharmacist has to work as a true professional community pharmacy, where they have to give patient counseling, they have to disseminate their knowledge to the patient like that, and proper inventory management, and they have to ensure supply of only quality drug, no distribution of misbranded or substandard or spurious drugs. So since the pharmacists after passing out, they have required knowledge of different things. At the same time, now we are seeing coming of artificial intelligence, development of computer technology. So it is required that the syllabus should be modified and should be made oriented so that when a pharmacy graduate is coming out from a pharmacy institute, he should have proper knowledge on this modern technology also. If after passing out, if he is lagging, then it will not be proper for him to become a competent pharmacist. That's why the syllabus has been modified, but now it is required that we all who are in the teaching profession, who are in the industry, who are in the regulator, because regulator job is also much more important. He has to ensure supply, manufacture, distribution, and safety of the drug, ensuring the quality of drug, standard drug, in the market, then also approval of drug. So at the same time, the drug controller, DCGI, and the state drug controller, central drug controller, and the role of drug inspector is much more. A simple example is I inform you about this role of drug control administration. Last year, in the month of August, we have seen this example is I am giving because that each and every professional of pharmacy profession has required to update the modern things, and he should utilize his expertise in his job where he is in drug control or in manufacture or quality control or in development of formulation. He has to ensure the proper safety of the masses from drug. The example is that last year, everybody we have heard in the TV that chasma utar jayega, your spectacle will go out. What was happening? In the July month, our DCGI has given approval to a pilocarpine nitrate eye drop to one of the company. This drug was eye drop was permitted to manufacture and supply in their market, but with a restriction that it will be sold only on the prescription of a ophthalmologist. And this is only for people having 18 years of age up to 50 years of age. And nobody will use this after doing driving because there were so many side effects of the drug. Side of the drug. The retina will be damaged and people will become blind. But it has been granted permission because some specific requirement was given by the drug company and shown its clinical trial, everything okay. Then we have objected because on seeing the side effect of the drug, and we know in the patent market drugs are available without prescription. Though prescription was there that without prescription will be sold, but it will be dispensed without prescription. And when the mass will use chasma utar jayega, then everybody will use. That's why we have objected to the DCGI to stop manufacture and sale of this drug, withdraw. But after 2 months, when the company got the license and they decided to introduce in the market in the month of October, in September, they have given this job, entrusted this job their marketing department. And their marketing department immediately issued TV ad, paper ad and everywhere that chasma utar jayega, new eye drop has come. This advertisement has immediately damage to the company. Then our duck conduct GCGI immediately cancel the license. You see, the mass has been saved. This example I have shown before all of you. That's why the syllabus should be framed, but not only the syllabus. It is up to us as a qualified person. We have to utilize our knowledge, expert our knowledge, so that in our day-to-day life, wherever we are working, we can give actual job of pharmacist to them wherever we are. Regarding syllabus, this much I will say that each and every pharmacy professor who are in the position, they should see the syllabus and content minutely, and they should give suggestion so that if any modification required to make our pharmacy graduates coming out from pharmacy, he should become competent, having total knowledge. He should compete in the market, and he must have developed total knowledge so that when the doctors will ask any question, he should be able to give the proper answer, and he should justify his position in the control, in hospital, in community pharmacy, as a drug researcher in quality control of drug, quality assurance of drug, in manufacture of drug or testing of drug, whenever, or also in teaching professor. So this much I will say, and I am hopeful that my second and third eminent speaker will give some more highlights. And I request Professor Ravindraji, that President of the branch, and Secretary Mr. Ajay Rai, that they should make proper deliberation of this program, and it should be conveyed to PCI so that fruitful thing will become. Thank you all. Once again, I express my thanks to the President, Mr. Ravindraji, for inviting me in seminar. Wish you happy and best wishes to all of you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. and Dr. Sir. Now, my honor to our speaker, Professor Gupta. Actually, he needs the introduction, but I need to share some information with you. Gupta. He has over 45 years of distinguished services in pharmaceutical education. Dr. Gupta has been acknowledged as the pioneer of pharmaceutical quality design paradigms in India. He has published nearly 400 original research papers.
Dada, your voice is not clear. Dada, your voice is not clear. Please bring the mic nearer you.
Yes, and also 16 books by reputed international publishers. He has trained several thousand industrial scientists from leading pharmaceutical companies, mentored over more than 100 researchers, including 35 PhD outputs. He has been listed among the top 2% scientists of the world by Stanford University USA from 2019 to 2024. The group has also received national and international awards for his exemplary contributions in various aspects of profession of pharmacy. With that, I request Gupta, please share your insights on the today's topic. Sir Gupta, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, I think, for thinking of organizing such a seminar for the sake of the pharmacy, pharmacy business. And thank you so much, and the actual president of the pharmacy. And I'm very, beholden and emboldened with the kind words of Mr. Punjab Ajay and Gupta. before that, let me share the screen. I think for Google Meets, window needs to be shared. I'm just sharing. Please tell me, whether you are able to see. Yeah. Uh, so I have been interested. Before that, let me express my gratitude to Mr. Bandyopadhyay. Only a couple of days before, earlier, he was very persuasive that I must talk about my critical assessment of the syllabus proposed by Pharmacy Council of India on BPharm, which is being circulated all around in the social media. So I had some concerns. Number one, that this is not the official copy which is being circulated. Had it been so they would have displayed it on their web portal and asked people to comment upon the same. And also, I shared my concern with Mr. Mudhopadhyay that I'm no more associated with this updating exercise. Earlier, in the previous case of the PCI syllabus upgradation revision, which was undertaken um, in 2016-17 and culminated in 2019 January. So I was associated in the fag end of the process, and I did contribute my might in the same. So I do not know much, but he persuaded that you are an experienced, educationist. So for you, it will not be a, much difficult process. The faculty looks towards you to educate them. So I took the onerous task. But day before, a couple of days earlier, on the web portal, the PCI uploaded uh, a newer version, much more explicit version. The earlier version, which was circulated, was having 194 pages, and the later version was 300 plus pages. So much more explicit and much more revised, much better revised version of these labels. So it was definitely, further onerous task which I had to undertake for the next couple of days to go through the nitty gritty, and where my friends like Dr. Somani, Rakesh Somani, Dr. Gir Ishaq, Dr. Anil Kumar, and my other friends, particularly I must mention Dr. Girdhari Lal, single state drug controller. So they helped me, in interpreting and advising, some of their critical feedback. So before I start, I must, pay my, respect and regards to Dr. R.P. Verma of BIT and Dr. Yesh Goyal, Mr. Sanjeev Rai, and others, Dr. Sumani, who are there amongst the audience, to adore, the listeners. So this is how, I have structured my talk. Uh, that is critical, transforming Indian pharmaceutical education. That is the attempt of not only PCI, but all the bodies and all the professionals, including Indian Pharmaceutical Association, national or Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Bihar or Punjab or anywhere else, and all the other professional organizations and individuals that pharmacy education needs to be overhauled, and critical insights on proposed PCI pharmacy curriculum, particularly the pros and cons. So this is how I have structured my talk. Little bit about how revamping has been in place of PCI syllabus. What are the fundamental aspects of the PCI syllabus that has been uploaded? Mm, Part of my presentation will be based upon the previous version. I'll point it out, and but most of it has been revised with respect to the latest version that has been uploaded onto the PCI web portal. And what about CBCS? compatibility of this current PCI syllabus, and what are the promises, what are the pros of this revised syllabus, and what are the cons and the concerns of this revision, which need to be, taken care of by the expert panel of the PCI, and my own experiential inputs on pharmacy education and pharmacy, curriculum. I'll share a little later, and we'll share the final recommendations and the pharmacy education overall. So, pharmacy education, everybody knows that the degree that makes a world of difference to the life of others is B pharmacy. And pharmacy is an art and science of formulating, compounding, manufacturing, distribution of drugs. And drugs is a substance which is used not only as per WHO, not only for the treatment, but mitigation, but diagnosis, and other aspects of the drugs. And as Dr. Gupta very rightly and very explicitly pointed out, we are supposed to be drug experts, and so is a young graduate of pharmacy needs to be an expert on pharmacon. That's the drug. So all the aspects of drugs must be encompassed in the syllabus proposed for B pharmacy. So there are various milestones which a pharmacy aspirant can go through. It may be diploma in pharmacy, bachelor's in pharmacy, postgraduate in pharmacy, or doctorate in pharmacy, or a PhD. So all these milestones are worth conquering, but we are discussing currently about B pharmacy. So very recently in April, in Times of India, and in Chronicle Pharma Biz and many other journals. So it was a news that PCI is going to revamp BPharm curriculum to meet the contemporary needs. The earlier attempt was made in 2000, from 2016 to 2019. Uh, so this was very recently pointed out. It's dated 20th, but it was uploaded on 21st. So today is 24th morning. So 21st evening it was uploaded. These syllabus on the right hand side, which is being shown. The first page is being shown, and it's by the Pratima Tiwari, the Deputy Secretary of BCI. This unsigned letter indicated. So people became skeptical whether this is a genuine copy because the this document was not properly signed. Anyway, let's start. The course curriculum and the revision proposed is based upon the critical feedback of the stakeholders that I have been told. The stakeholders, needless to mention, the industry, major stakeholders I'm talking about, academia, the regulators, and the students themselves. Of course, one another aspect could be, the pharmacy practitioners, etc., and many other aspects. So, industry, what does industry state? So industry says that our graduates lack the skills which are job ready, which is a very important concern. So for them, employability is a serious concern. For us, the academicians, and the students, it is the employment which is a major issue. But for industry, it is the employability. So we have to find the path in between. So academia says the resources are limited for dealing with the advanced topics. Regulators' feedback is that there are significant gap between their requirements of the current good manufacturing practices and the current regulatory awareness of the pharmacy graduates. There is sea difference between what is expected and what is being delivered by the graduates when they are employed as the drug regulators. Students say, we have been fed with lot of theory, but there's ample needed for hands-on training and hands-on learning. So the objectives of the PCI B pharmacy curriculum is to transform in Indian pharmacy education. That's why my title, Transforming Pharmacy Education, into a globally competitive, patient-centric, and industry-aligned program. The previous version, which was uploaded, clearly stated the objectives that first 2 years will be, general pharmacy course curriculum deliberations, and the next 2 years will be specialization. Specialization either in industrial pharmacy or in the clinical pharmacy. But I would say, different sense prevailed, or a better sense prevailed upon the PCI panel. Now they have done away with the 2+2 schedule, that first 2 year it should be general, next 2 years it should be specialization oriented. Now in the current syllabus, it's not being included, but certainly the syllabus is an industry aligned, patient centric one. It seeks to provide a coherent educational philosophy that promotes holistic pharmacy education, integrating foundational sciences, very good, clinical knowledge, yes, there's ample, and applied technological skills. So the major purpose is that the routine kind of rote learning, should be done away with, and the students should be thinking, problem saving, and lifelong orientation. Can anybody, stop the help stopping the background noise? Uh, the approach is being followed by, the Pharmacy Council of India. It promises a modern, yes, it's a modern syllabus, flexible, where there is some kind of flexibility. Today, the regulators are always asking, the industry is always asking about regulatory flexibility. So, curricular flexibility is also being asked, and this is being delivered by this proposed syllabus. An outcome driven approach integrating technology, practical exposure, and interdisciplinary skills. It emphasizes not only the interdisciplinary skills but experiential learning of the students, encouraging linkages between pharmaceutical sciences, clinical practice, drug industry, regulatory affairs. So, outcome based education, where the students will be able to carry out their own SWOT analysis at different milestones during their graduation, and they can analyze their outcomes and they can improve upon the same. The aligning with the National Education Policy 2022 principles, if not in toto, but in major parts. Increased focus on case studies, simulations, and community engagement in pharmacy settings. That's the approach. So, degree, needless to mention, is B pharmacy, and the proposed curriculum is likely to come into effect with respect to uh, next year. Uh, uh, Beg your pardon, it should be 2026, 2027, not 2016, 2026 next year. There's an error. 8 semesters uh, course, while 6 semesters for the lateral entry students. So earlier it was 2+2 years. That has been done away with. And curricula and syllabi will be prescribed, from time to time by Pharmacy Council of India. Medium of instruction and examination is English only. That let there be no ambiguity. Working days, there should be at least 100 working days per semester. Our semester will start from November or December uh, to May or June, or and even semester will start from June or July to November and December every calendar year. Academic work uh, will be based upon the regular record of attendance, both in theory and practical, and shall be maintained by designating teaching staff. Course of study shall include semester-wise theory and practical, as enlisted, and projects, as enlisted in the some of the tables which tend to follow. Program credit structure. It's a credit based semester system as it was earlier, but it is improved one. Courses are broadly classified as theory, tutorials, practicals, practice schools, and projects. Number of course credits depend upon the number of hours spent in. Earlier version, which was circulated around, had minimum credit requirement of 208. Now they have wisely and reduced it to 191. Minimum credit requirements has been little compromised from 208 to 191 over the duration of 8 semesters or 4 years. Salient features: credits have been reduced to 191, flexibility has been provided, emphasis on experiential learning, majors and minors, value added courses, skill enhancement courses, ability enhancement courses. Skill enhancement courses are called as SECs, ability enhancement courses are called as AECs, and the value added courses are called as VSCs have been included apart from the regular theory and practical courses. Two mandatory internships, one each in clinical and community setting, and one each in industrial or manufacturing settings. In order to provide exposure to the pharmaceutical students to the real world pharmacy professionals settings and challenges. That's very very important. And although the current syllabus is not divulging the same, I think it's one semester training each. Emphasis on research project in the last two semesters. That's very good. Aspect. That it will be guided by the mentor, maybe academic mentor and plus industry mentor or pharmacy practice mentor. If you joint project or research project in the last two semester, seventh, eighth, that will groom them for their future post graduations as well, maybe M.Pharm or any other course after B.Pharm. So the lateral entry into third semester for diploma pharmacy still continues. Artificial intelligence, Python programming, and many other new technologies have been embedded into the curriculum. Some features that have been majorly dropped. I've already talked about the same. That is the provision of the courses of two specializations, industrial pharmacy and clinical pharmacy, during fifth to eighth semester, last 2 years, has not been taught in the current syllabus version. The proposal is that it will be, deliberated little later. Let's first concentrate on the general structure of B pharmacy, because a lot of upheavals have to be carried out. If they tend to change the structure from 4 years to 2 plus 2 years, with last 2 years dedicated to a specialization like industrial and clinical pharmacy. A lot of changes in the regulations have to be made. So currently, it's concentrated only on the 4 year structure. Only one regular general pharmacy course remains involved. That's all semesters, which is common to all the students. And earlier, it was proposed that there will be some, flexibility to higher education institutions to add some interest, but this syllabus does not talk about it. Maybe they'll be taking this case, because in the previous version as well, 16 to 19, 2016 to 19, a lot of hue and cry was raised that the higher education institutions where M.Pharm and PhD and PharmD, etc., are available. So they should be allowed, particularly those who are accredited by NBA and NARC and other agencies. They should be some leverage, some flexibility to change the course curriculum for the betterment, or to add to the course curriculum for the betterment of students, because each reputed faculty institute has got their own strengths. So some degree of flexibility for the institutions need also to be imparted, but the current syllabus is silent about it. Exit after 4 semesters, which was allowed in the previous version, has been dropped due to practical reasons, and that's for good. That needed to be dropped out after 4 semesters. You cannot earn diploma in pharmacy as was proposed in the version which was being circulated around. And if you look around the credit points of each semester, you know, 21, 20, 23. So it ranges from 21 to 26. Seventh semester is the richest. It carries 26, credits, while the first semester is lighter. That's 21 semester or 21 credit points. So in total, it turns out to be 189. But the total credit points which have been shared are 191. So I presume that the two remaining 191 minus 189 are due to the extracurricular activities, because the curricular activities are counted to 189, and but the total that has been stipulated in the syllabus time and again is 191. Maybe two are due to either extracurricular activities or to the electives. So, scheme for awarding internal assessment, this is being followed. I think, again, the current version is silent about it. It's based upon the attendance marks as well as the theory and practical marks here. Sessional examination, again, is based upon multiple choice question and objective questions, long and short answer both, and on that basis, the continuous assessment will be made. Again, the current version is, somehow diplomatically or otherwise silent about it. So nothing officially, authentically be claimed about it. Similarly, end semester exams, in the previous versions, it was mentioned, based upon MCQs and subjective long answer and short answer, how to evaluate with respect to the marks on the end semester examination. That has not been again, explicitly stated in the current. And there were marks for synopsis experiments and viva voce for end semester practical. Again, uh, uh, this is not again being again proposed in the current, because I have been told that the current syllabus is containing only the curricular part. The regulations part will follow eventually. So this is how the grading system, a 6-point grading system will be there: outstanding, excellent, very good, good, and above average, that's C, and fail. And AB is absent. So based upon that, the percentage marks and the grade points, based upon that, the 10 would be outstanding, 9 excellent, 8 very good, 7. Again, the current version is silent about it. Grade point averages, it has been highlighting. That's a semester grade point average, cumulative grade point average, semester wise, it's called as SGPA as it was earlier. And when it's cumulated for our first two, all 8 semesters, up to 2 decimal points, averaged, it's called as final CGPA, cumulative grade point average. Report card and final scripts will show all 7 semesters SGPA and CGPA as well. So class will be declared first class and second class, and first class with distinction based upon the CGPA. And these were the course of study for as per the previous version. Now the next version is currently available on the website. I bypassed, because some of these do not match with the newer version. So I think one can go through. Let me come to the nature promising features of the current proposed uh, pharmacy curricula by BCI. It aligns with the national education policy that it claims holistically and flexibly. It claims. So I personally feel as an experienced teacher, so it does meet with that claim, if not 100%, but considerate. It is based upon outcome-based education. Absolutely no skepticism, no doubt. It boosts the industry readiness with practical tracks. Yes, and it's providing flexibility with, how it's providing flexibility. It's allowing the choice of the electives, and the electives we'll be discussing. There are plenty of them, and still more. The choice can be added. It's incumbent upon the same as Dr. Gupta, shared and advised Mr. Bandyopadhyay that the outcome of this may be shared with the Farmers Council of India. Better would be if it is shared with the IPA National, and through their advocacy group, it should be shared with PCI, so that whether PCI or IPA or IPTI, we are working for the cause of the pharmacy education. We are working for the cause of the pharmacy students, so that uh, better and best sense prevails upon with the panel, and we get a syllabus which justifies the industry and pharmacy practice and the professional readiness of our students. Ethics and universal human values, course has been added, which is very very important and very vital to inculcate the ethical and integrity values over there. Skill based and interdisciplinary learning, yes, it is providing the winnable outcomes, and it does help bridging the industry institute gap. Too long industry internship, maybe one semester each, live industrial projects for which will be given some credits. Industry experts are invited as visiting faculty. This is a very welcome step. Joint academic industry research initiatives can be taken up, and MOUs can be signed with pharma companies, because so many students undertaking so many apprenticeships and trainings, and so many projects being undertaken. So it will be very difficult for the institutes to rope in with the industrial houses, until and unless there is some winnability by the pharmaceutical industry as well. So MOU need to be signed with pharmaceutical companies where their concerns are also addressed with, and joint research projects can be shared as well. So technology integration, I think this syllabus is doing so considerably well as far as the technology encompassment is concerned. Virtual labs and simulations have been introduced, e-learning modules through the massive open online courses, for some of these, which can be, where thousands of the students can be roped in through MOOCs, through online programs, the platforms are like that, and so many institutes can be plugged in into one MOOC training session. AI powered learning analytics have been very thoroughly included over here, and mandatory industry training by a GMP certified pharmaceutical industry has been included. Simulation laboratories I have already taken up, and digital health tools have been incorporated. There are some promising features as far as the curriculum is concerned, as far as the subjects, the topics which have been included in the curriculum are concerned. I'm sharing with delight that a subject called as communication skills have been included, which is the need of the hour. Yeah, I feel many professionals, those who have excelled, those who have reached that certain echelon, still they lack appropriate communication skills, whether verbal or oral. So I think this is going to help the students, the pupils, groomed up, providing opportunity in improving their skills on communication and making them more confident, making them more apt. And a course on ethics and human values, I've already shared. This is very, very called for, because in India is pharmacy of the world, for the last 25, 30 years. And, and still the integrity is many a times questioned. So ethics is very important element which needs to be promulgated, and the healthcare psychology. This subject, will help them, looking into the psychological and the mental angle to the healthcare, how to take care of the patients psychologically, as well. This is going to augment the soft skills, and this will going to help in the interactions among the peers and amongst the colleagues as well during the course of their work. And incorporation of pharmacovigilance. There's a separate course, pharmacovigilance, which is the need of the hour. Many, a good chunk of pharmacy graduates are finding, and I know that from Punjab University, almost get a, say, 10 to 15% of the graduates are going to pharmacovigilance companies. So pharmacovigilance subject has been introduced. Pharmacy practice subject has been introduced to make the students more profession ready. Topics like social pharmacy and public health have been introduced. So they it will help the students to inculcate the social onus, social responsibility towards the society much better. And a topic has been, there is a dedicated course on intellectual property rights, which will help understand about their patent rights, the copyright, the trademarks, etc. And there is a separate course on innovation and startup ecosystems. This is highly called for. It can help boost the translational business potential while the student is getting groomed up uh, as a graduate. We didn't have such kind of exposure while we were students, and when we grew up as a faculty member, we understood that one of the aspect of the research and the even while sitting in the academics as consultants could be to carry out the work uh, uh, which is exploitable commercially as well for the benefit of themselves, for the benefit of their institutes, for the benefit of their country. So, startup ecosystem training, let it be it be groomed, let the students be groomed at the mm, graduation level. Catch them young is the policy of the PCI, in panel, and I must thoroughly appreciate. It can help boost the translational potential of the uh, drugs and drug delivery systems. High emphasis on digital tech platforms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, smart systems, Python programming in so many disciplines. I'll touch upon a little later. And there's a new course on new drug or new drug delivery system or novel drug delivery system and precision medicine, also called as family medicine, also called as personalized medicine. And there is another course that's which was dropped in the previous syllabus, that was the practical aspects of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics has been reintroduced, which will be short. All these will be short in the arms of these students. So these are as many as eight elective subjects have been introduced during 8 semesters, approximately one per semester, but not necessarily in each semester. Say, for example, I'll touch upon, there are two electives in semester two. One is uh, practical SEC, skill enhancing course. And you can choose between communication skills, mental well being, stress and conflict management, very apt, fundamental of computer operations. You can choose one of them. Then practical SEC, again in semester two. That is computer-aided drug design, analytical method, validation principles of preclinical studies, omics, proteomics, genomics science. Practical of AEC, that is semester 6, nutraceuticals, food analysis, yoga and life science, career building in cultivation of medicinal plants, theory of AECs, semester 6, green chemistry, not involving more of the solvents, material vigilance and chemo vigilance. Material vigilance is more on the medical devices, and likewise, chemo vigilance is more concentrated on the toxins and sera. Scientific writing, very important. They'll be exposed with how to write a journal article or a magazine article, and how to be acquainted with the various practices which need to be avoided, like uh, plagiarism, self-plagiarism, and other fabrication, falsification, etc. Drug store and business management, and then BSc value-added courses, professional skills, QBD, PAT, futuristic pharma, through augmented reality and virtual reality AR VR, related to not pharma 5, pharma 4 operations. One step less than pharma's 5 have been concentrated over here. Currently, world over, it's talked about pharma 5 operations, but very wisely, the panel has chosen to stop at pharma 4 instead of pharma 5 straight away. And theory of ability enhancing course, semester 7, current good manufacturing practices, pharmaceutical automation, that's robots, etc., modern techniques in cellular biology, medical devices. Then another AEC on theory, packaging, pharmaceutical packaging, supply chain management, industrial safety, and waste management, traditional healing processes. And the last but not the least, the 8th semester, VSC, practical, cleaning validation, impurity profiling, basic training on aseptic handling techniques, and herbal cosmetics. So one can choose one out of these four. There are 30 options and uh, eight electives. Eight electives are to be chosen from 30 options, and that provides the flexibility. Now, this is something stupendous. There are as many as 8 AI based courses which have been introduced into this syllabus. It will be to the delight and to the surprise of so many. First topic in semester 1 is AI, artificial intelligence, and Python programming for pharmacy 1. AI and Python programming for pharmacy 2. AI in pre-formulation and formulation, semester 3. AI in drug design, drug discovery, and biopharmaceutics, at semester 4. It's not semester 1. Again, this is in ascending order, uh, and there's an error. Semester 4. AI in pharmacology and drug safety, semester 5. ML, it's not AI, it's machine learning in pharmacognosy and biotechnology, semester 6. Intelligent pharmaceutical manufacturing and smart QA systems, in semester 7. AI in pharmacy practice and patient care. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are as many as 8 uh, courses where the course is itself named as AI or AIML or smart, means indicating the involvement of artificial intelligence. How concerned are the pharmacy professionals sitting in the PCI about the this technological revolution, which is impacting every profession, every walk of life. So, needless to mention, everybody knows that artificial intelligence has, impacted the diagnostics, the treatment, the surgeries, the pharma practice, the pharma delivery, and so on and so forth. So, the diagnostics which are made using artificial intelligence have been found maybe in breast cancer, prostate cancer, blood cancer, and otherwise, have been found to be having much better accuracy than all CT scans and MRI scans added together without AI. So intelligence is ability to adapt to change. The great scientist whom we lost very recently, a few years ago, Stephen Hawking, used to tell, and I totally endorse. And PCI is moving in that direction. But there are challenges, there are concerns. The vertical integration, that's major overlap of B-Farm curricular content with M-Farm continues. We have seen in the current syllabi. So in M-Farm, when we teach M-Farm, it's more or less, more or less, I'm telling, is repetition of what has been already taught to them in B-Farm. At least 70-80% is the same. It may be explicit in one form or another. So this vertical integration has to be taken care of. There should not be any lack of it. There, there may be some courses which may be, introduced for the explicit, reasons in MFARM, but it has to have something novel, something special in their specialization. So lack of trained faculty, where from will bring the experts who are knowing about AI, AI, ML, and that too, applying AI and AI, ML in pharmacology, in pharmacognosy, in formulation, pre-formulation, patient care, pharmacy practice, and manufacturing and QA systems. Until and unless we train them, and for obviously for talking about AI and Python programming, we need to hire people, from outside. I'm, personally speaking, by virtue of my experience of nearly 44 years in pharmacy education, and I was, way back 1988. I learned computers, front programming, Visual C programming, C++ programming, and I had, together with my associates, developed nearly 18 software, and 4 or 5 of them were very popular at that very time, Zorel, Probe, etc. And I'm quite conversant with the programming aspect, and I don't think personally that any programming aspect needs to be taught to the BFARM students at the entry level, and particularly the students who join biology stream and pharmacy stream because they abhor mathematics. Majority of the students who join pharmacy are those who are from biology stream, nearly 80 to 90%. And they, join biology stream not because they have passion for biology stream or medicine, because some of them, majority of them rather, 50-60% of them have no other option but to choose engineering because they are not good at it, they are apprehensive, or they are hateful, or they are, distasteful of mathematics and engineering sciences. So you, no sooner they join, you teach them with the matrices, determinants, and differential equations, and then artificial intelligence and Python right in the first semester course. Python programming, I beg to differ. This is not, a figment of wisdom on the part of the PCI to include Python programming. AI, everybody understood. Generative AI like ChatGPT and Gemini and other tools, chatbots. Everybody may be using, but AI per se and Python programming using a simple basic language or Fortran C language may be much easier. And Python programming, you know, I beg to differ with the experts that it should not be included. AI welcome, but not programming. We need to make the students aware on various applications rather than development. Development is let it be taken care of the IT experts. And annual pedagogy training and industrial sabbatical to faculty, they have to concentrate. We have to train the faculty on to AI and AI based applications. We have to train them on the usual teaching methodologies, as well. And we have to train them on the industrial environments by providing some kind of sabbatical leaves as well, to stay with the students, and 1 month is spent in or 2 months spent in industry, because to get better exposure of industry, if they get better exposure of industry, they'll be teaching the students much better regarding the industrial applications as well. So, and limited flexibility I have already shared for the higher education institutions, especially if they are accredited by NAC, UGC, or MHRD, NIRF, or NBA. They should be provided with, and less involvement of. We have observed that real stakeholders. I do not know exactly, but the drug regulators, the industry people, the pharmacy practitioners, besides the pharmacy educationists, should be involved in syllabi framing. But I do not know whether a good percentage of the stakeholders have been involved. Rather, I would say, some students who have recently passed out, brilliant students, brilliant minds, and expressive minds should also be included. Maybe 5%. Young minds. Those who are serving industry, those who are serving pharmacy practice settings. Because they'll be able to tell about the problems and which their mates and they themselves were facing, and they'll be able to help making the syllabi which are much more pragmatic. And infrastructure need to be intensive for the AI and other technologies. Simulation labs have to be added. So it's the small pharmacy institutions, or the evolving pharmacy institutions. It will be, for them, it will be a good infrastructural load. A skill intensive curriculum demands more faculty hours and smaller batches, because ज़्यादा पढ़ाना पड़ेगा and छोटे batches में पढ़ाना पड़ेगा. So this course is very intensive. You'll be needing higher faculty for a given number of students. High capital investment is also required, as I've already shared. Simulation labs banane hain, some licensed digital tools and upgraded labs, software, etc. AI software, because you will not be able to teach them through the free versions of the Gemini and the Chat GPT, etc. You need to have licensed version. And institutional partnership with industries is very limited. Not every pharmacy institution has liaison with industry, you know? So to have a meaningful internship, it will be a very very arduous task for the pharmacy institutes, because so many activities are related to their liaison with industry, and subject wise concerns as well. Overall, if I look into, it's quite theory heavy, and in comparison to practicals, as I perceive, I may be somebody may debate it otherwise, so I stand corrected, but I feel it's theory heavy. Limited exposure. The my friends, Dr. Girdai Singer, Dr. Pradeep Pattu, former drug controllers of state drug controller of Haryana and Punjab, respectively, and the current state drug controller of Himachal Pradesh, Dr. Manish, Kapoor. I have sought their, explicit feedback, and everybody said in the unanimous tone that the drug regulatory affairs have not been justified by including one paper on the pharmaceutical jurisprudence. You know? So it needs to be, at least two papers. Subjects like remedial maths and remedial biology have not been touched upon. This was probably, the best practice which we had been adopting earlier. Remedial maths for the students who are from biology stream, remedial biology for the students who are joining from the non-medical stream, that's mathematics stream, used to gear them up for understanding the various precepts in pharmacy. So this is very, very important. Remedial maths the contents may be reduced, but remedial maths should be retained. Remedial biology should be retained. I'm very much vociferous for the same. And in the programming, in the Python programming, you are teaching higher maths. You are teaching differential maths, which is one step further to integral calculus. And in remedial maths, you are not teaching the differential calculus, then integral calculus. You are not teaching algebra, differential and integral calculus. How can they understand differential equation, Laplace transforms? They cannot, you know. So some vision needs to be adopted with respect to doing away with remedial maths and remedial biology. They must be included in the syllabi. And organic chemistry has been removed. Pharmaceutical engineering has been removed. You know, again, this can be debated. I have concern the chemists can, touch upon. During my B pharmacy or during the recent years, my exposure tells that the fortification of the knowledge of organic chemistry used to gear the students to understand medicinal chemistry much better, and so is biochemistry much better. Pharmaceutical engineering made them industry ready, but this can be touched upon. Not everything can be included in these small courses. So this can be deliberated. Overemphasis on AI, ML, and Python, you know, uh, is though in the lack of authentic sources, इसके कोई books available नहीं है, इसके कोई resources, इसके faculty available नहीं है. We have introduced 8 courses on AI, ML, and the title itself tells AI, and there is not even a single book which has been referred. I looked into microscopically in the references, the books which have been recommended, no book on AI in a particular field. See, I'm just going back. So AI in drug design, there is no book on design, drug discovery, bioinformatics. In the recommended books, there is no book on pre-formulation and formulation as applied by AI. There's no book on pharmacognosy and biotechnology as applied by ML. There's no book on pharmaceutical manufacturing and smart QS systems held through by AI, ML. There's no book on pharmacy practice and patient care as taken care of by AI. So why include AI in every subject in the title itself? My take in this regard, humble suggestion in this case would be that the original structure, should have been retained. Only couple of AI courses should be there. But overemphasis would uh, dilute these professional standards, the pharmaceutical standards. If anybody from the global pharmacy stream, from US, Canada, or Europe would see our course in a pharmacy. We are pharmacy of the world. People look towards us, and they see 8 courses on AI. यार इनको ना जो इंडियन फार्मेसी को शायद AI mania हो गया, so which needs to be myself taken care of. Please pardon me for saying these words. So there should be element of AI in each subject. There should be one chapter, one aspect, but the title itself is AI, and there's no book to guide to steer the students or the faculty. Will be in hot soup very soon if we implement this syllabus as such. We need to have envision पोस्ट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कौन लेके किस फैकल्टी के पास ट्रेनिंग होगी, किस फैकल्टी के पास बुक्स होगी, किस फैकल्टी के पास नॉलेज होगी, किस फैकल्टी के पास नो हाउ होगी. एवरीबडी विल बी लुकिंग टुवर्ड्स हियर एंड देयर. कोई गेस्ट लेक्चर दे दो, कोई ऐसे कर दो, AI के लिए कर दो. Nobody will be expert in this direction. AI is knocking at our doors. It's for our good. We need to be abreast with. This is very intelligent steps to get adapted to that, but not indiscriminately. Let's do it in a visionary manner. So, what are the advantages? Everybody knows of AI, error-free processing. Uh, Repetitive tasks, as in any kind of machine process, mechanical process, or electronic processes, can be better taken care of. Say translation, etc. And it's available 24/7. Any time you can work on robotics, and machines governed through AI can work 24 hours, and right decision, right, if not right, you know better decision taking. Your smart GPS many times go wrong as well, but it's more correct than human thinking, because you need not interrupt our roadside passenger. मैंने यहाँ पे I have to go to 39 sector west. So you know your GPS can take care of invariably, but not always. There have been instances where the GPS unplugged have been doomed as well sometimes. Digital assistance has been provided, so it cannot be totally relied upon, but it is much better to take decisions. There are disadvantages of AI as well. High costs. It may lead to eventually unemployment. It's leading, in IT industry, where there were 4 people employed. Now, one or two may be doing their jobs, and so many layoffs, have been taking place, because AI is serving the needs of so many people in one. And creativity, this is, very, very important part. Creativity in writing, creativity in visionary, creativity in translation, creativity in, imagination, vision, is, going to dogs. The improvement is hardly there, because we are overly dependent upon AI, and no human replication. Man to man improvement nahi ho rahi. And the world is going through a term which is called as AI psychosis. The juveniles, the young ones, they are going through fear. जल्दी जल्दी करो ना, AI AI. आपको कोई भी WhatsApp, Facebook, कोई भी सोशल मीडिया पे चले जाएं, इतनी एडवर्टीजमेंट है for AI, creating psychosis in the world. So हमें अपने स्टूडेंट्स को रिलैक्स साइकोसिस में नहीं डालना. इतना ओवर एम्फोसिस इन दी नॉमेनक्लेचर इटसेल्फ नहीं होना चाहिए. अंदर एक एक चैप्टर डाल दें, 2-3 कोर्सेस हो. पाइथन प्रोग्रामिंग की जरूरत नहीं. दैट्स माय viewpoint. That's my viewpoint. That's my experiential advice based on my over nearly 4.5 decades of experience, and that too with the knowledge of computers. That too, I'm using AI tools. And that too with the knowledge of some superficial knowledge of AI. We need not to have AI programmers or Python programmers. We need to have AI application experts in pharmacy. We need to make them drug experts, as the president talked about. We need to make them pharmacy experts with knowledge of, with updated knowledge of AI. So we let our students be relaxed, because if you are having a positive countenance on your face, positive smile on your face, you are able to understand. In the Old Testament, there is a quote: if you are happy, you are right; if you are sad, you are wrong. Whatever may be your environments, if you're happy, you are part of the nature's mainstream. You are able to receive something. You are receptive. Your mind is receptive. Your neurons are productive. Your neurons are attentive. If you're sad, if you're in psychosis, if you're burdened, you are not. If you're depressed, you are not. Hmm? If you're manic, you are not. So let's make the students creative, but not over dependent upon any technology, be it AI, be it ML, or anyone. That's my word of advice. So let's remember the words of a visionary scientist, the only Bharat Ratna, one of the two Bharat Ratna scientists. He was a scientist who was elevated to the presidentship of the country, being a scientist. A visionary and futuristic curriculum cannot afford to be merely an eyewash. It must be rooted in our ground realities, driven by visionary insight. Vision is very important and executed with integrity. So, ग्राउंड रियलिटी हमें पता होना चाहिए, हमारी रियलिटीज कंट्री की, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स की, हमारे बायोलॉजी स्ट्रीम वाले स्टूडेंट्स की, एंड क्या है ना, और आगे फ्यूचर कैसा है, ऐसे कैसा एक ग्रूम कर पाएंगे. डू वी हैव द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, डू वी हैव द फैकल्टी, डू वी हैव the know-how, है ना, and how would it be executed and implemented with integrity. That's the word of advice for this. So, my dear friends, best curriculum and active feedback from stakeholders lead to quality contents. And in this regard, let me share the amendments made by one of my colleagues, Corporate Drug Controller of Haryana, in Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Time does not permit me to go into the nitty-gritty. So he has proposed in that Drugs and Cosmetics Act, there should be many changes. That medical devices is not falling into the purview, should be done away with, and the manufacture and sale of drugs should be included, and conditions for grant of license. And so he's emphasizing not only the CDSCO guidelines are to be taken care of. CDSCO has to be taken care of. State drug control guide structure has also to be promulgated to the students. So this is a glimpse of Thailand, Bangkok. Look around. Isn't it frightening? Look around. This is to check the cheating, copying practice. So they cannot see left and right. So this is, I think, we can also adopt in our practice. Lest this may be the case, we have to make our syllabus and the examination system such that we are not asking at the end semester, we are continuously monitoring them. ये मैंने पढ़ा था फेसबुक में कहीं, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा टू ब्रेक दी मोनोटनी इन लाइटर वेन. किसी ने डाला, समुंदर जितना सिलेबस है, नदी जितना पढ़ पाते हैं, बाल्टी जितना याद होता है, गिलास पर लिख पाते हैं, चुल्लू भर नंबर आते हैं, उसी में डूब के मर जाते हैं। So, समुंदर से चुल्ली चुल्ली में पहुंच जाता है, क्योंकि we have our system is cramming based, memorization based. Our system needs to be overhauled. It should not be. It should be understanding based. And in this regard, the GPAD, prompts the students to understand. One step.
Step,
You know,
you
Quality of students can be granted by their ability to cope up with stress, international competence, capability to apply knowledge, and interpersonal skills. And quality of education, not only by quality of students, quality of teachers, and quality of infrastructures. And globalization is also key. Today, we are living in a world which is a global village. It's border free. It's borderless. The education is borderless, transitional. You can talk to anybody across. Your education. You can call anybody for lecture, for a webinar over here. No boundaries. Internet has made the world borderless. So the bottom line is that universities should universalize, globalize. So the key advantages of globalization: it encourages updated quality enhancement, significantly widens the horizons, enriches both institute and the students, generate cross-border goodwill, generates financial resources, and so on and so forth. Because you can invite some, students who can pay in dollars or euros or pounds. So globalization and quality, we cannot afford to separate them. So you can create inclusive environment, making pharmacy education more broad-based, uh, strengthening data and information. Special courses can be generated which are in tune with the global world. So, my dear friends, uh, from education we have to move to edutainment. Our lectures should be, entertaining. From chalk and talk to display and deliver. From unidirectional to bidirectional. Let there be discussions in the class, not the teacher teaches, student listens. The students should also speak, and the teacher should also listen. It should be bi-directional. It should not be monotonous. It should be enjoyable. एजुकेशन नहीं, एजुटेनमेंट होना चाहिए। उनको कहीं और एंटरटेनमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं, एजुकेशन ही एंटरटेनमेंट करती है। एम्फेसिस शुड नॉट बी ऑन राइटिंग स्किल्स, इट शुड बी डेवलपमेंट ऑफ राइटिंग स्किल्स विद ओरल कम्युनिकेशन। ओरल कम्युनिकेशन यहाँ पे जो करंट सिस्टम है, ओरल कम्युनिकेशन को एम्फेसिस नहीं देता है। यहाँ पे दे शुड बी अलाउड सम प्रेजेंटेशंस. That's what some seniors have, shared as the matter of advice, that they should be allowed some presentations, so that they can improve their oral communication skills. Students should not be passive recipients; they should be active participants. So, good quantity versus good quality of pharmacy institutions. That's the need of the hour. We see mushrooming of the pharmacy, institutes. I think a few years ago, 7 8 years ago, there was some embargo, you know, uh, time embargo on registering more pharmacy institutes. Now, anybody in every institute can come forward, any private institute, for uh, money laundering. So that should not be a case. The quantity should not be a concern, but the quality of the education institution should be more important. So continuing education is very, very important. It should not be, stopped after doing the B pharmacy or M pharmacy. There should be continuous learning, modules available, like I see IPER in Pune and many others, courses. So crisis criteria have been followed: convenient, relevant, individualized, speculative, inexpensive, and systematic for classic. Today the scenario is that we are asking. This is a famous, you know, cartoon, that we are asking every animal to, you know, uh, mm, climb the tree. So this is not a prerogative. We are asking the same kind of syllabus for every student. We must look into the individual, pace of the students. There should be some leverage, some concern about the teacher's assessment of the students. There may be some exceptional students in some exceptional criteria. So the teacher should be able to identify and fortify that skill in the students. And we need vision, the art of seeing what is invisible to others. Sorry, the the curricula should be flexible and updated as the half-life of pharmaceutical information is declining. Flexible, modular, technology-based. Latest topic of today will get outdated. So every 5 years there should be updating. And in this regard, this revision is most welcome. Curriculum designers should have the ability to imagine and have adequate vision to develop syllabi. Need of autonomous curriculum structuring and committee to meet and thrash the updates regularly. Regularly, it should be regular. So integration is very important. We must know our strengths, and we must couple with the strengths of others to harvest the best. So intra-institutional within the institute, we must have cooperation. We must have synergy. Inter-institutional within we must not take any other and every other institute as a competitor. We must go hand in hand with other institutes. If some laboratory is not there with us, so we must use the laboratory of our neighboring other institutes, and we must allow the access of their our laboratory to them. So mutually win-win kind of situation, saving money, saving resources, and improving the goodwill. So interinstitutional integration, local within the city, national within the country, within the world, global, interdisciplinary interaction, not only within the pharmacy with biotechnology, pharmacy with medicine, pharmacy with engineering, and interdisciplinary within the same discipline. Institution industry integration, very important. We have already talked about this. Institution hospital integration, if we are to bring out some products as has been brought about by us in the University Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences in close tandem with my colleague Mr. Katare. So we have tied up with the nearby hospital PGIMER, and we have brought some technologies which have been marketed by companies like Cipla, IPCA, and life care innovations. Institute government agency integration. So to make the policy and let it be promulgated. Institute NGO integration. Maybe for pharmacy practice or other societal tasks. Institute alumni interaction for helping the institute and for getting the feedback, for getting their assistance, getting the placement assistance, and so on and so forth. So, my dear friends, most of you I learn are faculty members. We need to go back to our archives. Guru, we are very fortunate कि हमारे यहाँ पे गुरु पूर्णिमा और वगैरह सेलिब्रेट होता है. गुरु के की हम यहाँ पे कद्र करते हैं, इज्जत करते हैं. Guru and gu and ru in Sanskrit means darkness, and ru means he who removes darkness. So guru, he who removes darkness, or of ignorance by imparting vidya to vidyarthis. So there can be two kinds of vidya, apara and para, so and vidyalaya, Mahavidyalaya, Vishwavidyalaya universities and Gurukuls, all are those, which are providing. So we
हाँ
need
भाई
to go
गुड
beyond the current process of providing
और क्या मिल रहा है
the professional knowledge, but go to spiritual knowledge. So teacher is
वो
repertoire of
वही
humane values.
प्रैक्टिकल वाला
So humane is an acronym over here.
बीस देते हैं
H
मैंने
for
अभी तो वो
humanity, U
ज्वाइन
for
किया था भूल गया ना
unbiasedness,
तू
magnanimity, M for A for amiability,
11
that's
बीस
love,
अरे
mobility,
हाँ
that
ज्वाइन किया था
nobility,
कल
that is
सौरभ यार फोन आया था
nobleness, and
और वो
exhilaration,
बोले कि
that's
बहुत ज़्यादा
remaining
मतलब बोले
happy,
पैन इंडिया से बहुत
humane
ज़्यादा
values.
रजिस्ट्रेशन हो गया
And in this
तो
regard,
रजिस्ट्रेशन को रोक
let
कर
me
और
share
गूगल मीट
one
पे भी कर दीजिए
email
और
which
लिंक
I
बनाइए
got from
तो गूगल मीट
my
पे इस बारे में
mentor, my
ऑप्शन ही
teacher,
लोग ज्वाइन कर सकता है
every
तो
Punjab
हर वैसे
University
सबके पास कैसे
graduates,
पहुंचेगा तो
or
फिर उसको
alumni,
रिकॉर्ड करना
and
तो
to
रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए
endeavor
अभी हम
the
रिकॉर्ड कर रहे
most
हैं लैपटॉप से
Padam Shri
और फिर
Professor
रिकॉर्ड
Kishan Singh.
करके
He
उसको
sent
फिर यूट्यूब
an
पे
email to
IPA-SF का जो
selected
है बेहद
students
शुक्रिया
some time back.
तो
He
यूट्यूब पे
expired
इसको
in
स्ट्रीम करवा देंगे
2020, and he
मतलब
shared
अपलोड कर
almost
देंगे
in
और
6
ऑटोमेटिकली
7
सब
years
देख
before
लेगा जो
his
लोग नहीं भी
departure.
देख रहे हैं और इस मेल सबके पास
Cut
ईमेल
long
है ना
story
मेरे पास
short,
ईमेल से सबके
uh,
पास यूट्यूब का लिंक
he
भेज
said
देंगे
that students tend to emulate their teachers.
हो जाएगा
My lifelong experience show that
हम तो
what you
ये तक
cannot
नहीं किया
practice
है
yourself, you cannot get it
क्या
done
चीज़
by others. So that's what he used to tell.
हाँ गूगल
कि
मीट
अगर
का
आप
लिंक
खुद
सब
नहीं करेंगे, स्टूडेंट्स नहीं
हाँ
कर
हाँ
पाएंगे.
हाँ
वो
और
स्टूडेंट्स
गौतम उधर
टीचर
बोले
को
थे मैं
रोल मॉडल
स्क्रीनशॉट
समझते हैं बिना
हाँ करके
कुछ
भेजता
कहे,
हूँ
है ना.
8 9 10
सो अगर
तीनों चाहिए था
टीचर उसको फॉलो नहीं
8
करता,
9 10
वो
तीनों चाहिए
स्टूडेंट्स में इनकलकेट नहीं कर सकता.
अच्छा 8
वी हैव टू
कैलकुलेशन
बिकम रोल मॉडल.
सुन ना 9 का
सो
कैलकुलेशन
उन्होंने
किया था
एक anecdote शेयर की. There was a
ये
noble, he who
कि लिखना
trains
पड़ेगा तो बहुत तरह से
and he
मानते
who
हैं
takes care of the horses,
ये ए नंबर
and
तो
had a
किस
favorite racehorse. He had to get
अच्छा
a new
ठीक है
trainer for the horse.
हाँ तो सोनू से
नोबल
मांग
ने
के हमको भी भेज दो
एक नया ट्रेनर लिया
हाँ ठीक है मैं भेज देता हूँ
हॉर्स के लिए, पुराने वाला चला
अच्छा
गया.
अच्छा ठीक
The new
ठीक
trainer
तो रुकना ये
took
भेज
good
दिया
care
तो
of the
लैपटॉप से
horse,
ज्वाइन
but
किया
after
ये
some
वाले
months,
पे
the horse started limping. वो लंगड़ा होके चलने लग गया. This perturbed the noble. वो कहने लगा कि this is my race horse, which used to win so many races for me, and I used to get so many accolades and money by winning through this resource. तो ये लंगड़ा होके कैसे चलने लगे? He got the horse examined by best of the veterinarian in the town, but nobody could find the reason. Suddenly, one out of sudden, some sage, some saint, you know, happens to visit his place. So he asks the sage, that my horse has started limping suddenly, and मेरा सब कुछ इसके ऊपर दरमदार है. And the sage told, uh, who is the trainer? उसने कहा कि ये trainer. For since how long he has been hired? Only couple of months. Where is the previous trainer? He has left. Okay, was the previous trainer limping? Noble thought for a while. Yes, he used to limp. The sage replied that your whole horse is missing that limping trainer, because the animals tend to emulate their role models. For them, the role model was the trainer. So the noble understood everything. So he, rehired the previous trainer, and the horse was happy, and it didn't limp any worse. So the lesson from this fable, which Professor Kishan Singh shared with a few of us, was that आपको role model बनना है, teacher को. Curriculum अकेला नहीं कुछ कर सकता. We have to be role models, because the students tend to follow us as role models. How this is very important. Knowledge नहीं चलेगी. How to innovate. So Albert Einstein used to say the goal of education is to train the mind to think, not to feed. Curriculum is not to feed, no? Either through theory or through practical, or through practice schools, or through projects, or through industry visits, or it should not be like that. It should be able to provide some fresh air and ability to think, creatively out of box, and not to train the mind to think, but to not to obey, but the train to let's train them to think independently. So mind is the master key, and a great scientist Tesla, again, after which the Tesla cars are named. He used to tell that we use only 1% of neurons, 99% remain unutilized. So those who tend to meditate, they can increase it to 2%, 3%, 13%, 40, 50%. So a mind is the powerful tool. We must include meditation in our aparavidya as well. Disordered state can be converted to ordered state. This would relax them. This will make them productivity. There are so many heartful and mindful techniques which are available in our country. Our country is having plenty of such trainers. So we must inculcate, if not through curriculum, otherwise in our practice. Arjun had Arjun like I. He's revered because of his training, because of his focus, because of his meditativeness, and we have to make things understand. If a teacher cannot make anybody understand unless he himself understand, So Albert Einstein, again, I quote him. So he used to accentuate that any fool can know, but the point is to understand. Please see this.
He's going to pick the big one. He's going to order samosas. Samosa. I know your heart only too well, so I give Kellogg's heart-to-heart oats every day. He's going to put his arm around me. After all, who knows his heart better than me? Kellogg's heart-to-heart oats. Jack, lunch में घर आओगे बेटा? नहीं माँ, लाइब्रेरी जाना। नहीं माँ, लाइब्रेरी जाना है। और डिनर? ग्रुप स्टडीज है माँ। चाय तो पीता जा बेटा। हाँ, तुम्हारी चाय हाँ।
My dear friends, I am neither protagonist of Kellogg's Heart to Heart nor of Group 1T. But the point which I tried to make across over here, that the wife understood her husband. As she understood her husband, she was able to predict her husband's next move. He's going to select the pink tie. He's going to order for samosas. Now he's relaxed. He's going to put his arm around me. And similarly, the mother was able to quip what will be the answer to her question that group studies have on. Wah tumhari chai, whatever. Because she understood her son. So where there is understanding, there is prediction. That's what the federal agencies are also asking the pharmaceutical scientists to understand our product and processes better. That is the gist of even quality by design and process analytical technology guidelines as well. Understanding product and process understanding. If we know the product, the process will not commit any errors. The product will be, reigning. It will not be failing. So, my dear friends, uh, a doctor, if doctor commits a mistake, it is the life of that patient under risk, under peril. But if a pharmaceutical scientist makes a mistake, it is the life of hundreds of thousands of the patients who are consuming his products or the APIs under peril. So whose job is more responsible? I leave it to you. Everybody can understand. So for that, we have to understand. We have to make students understand as well. And where there is understanding, there is predictability as well. So knowledge is not enough. Understanding is required, and we have to inculcate understanding amongst the students as well. So the sojourn is from the traditional to modern science. Technology is rapidly changing, and in this regard, nanotechnology is a very, very important, aspect which gives you enormous, understanding. But I found, nowhere in the new proposed curricula the mention of nanomedicine or nanotechnology, which can be harvested, if not a regular course, but at least at an elective course. Nanotechnology, where tiny outweighs use, from common cold to cancer, from sunburn to broken bone, from cavities to heart diseases, nanotechnology is everywhere. So, enhanced therapeutic efficacy, improved safety, and site-specific drug targeting. There are so many novel and nanostructure systems. Time does not permit me to go into the same soluble nanoparticles, nanomicelles, fullerenes here. And one of the Nobel Prizes in, I think, 2016 was awarded to nanomachines. And molecular docking, that topic has been dealt with only superficially, docking and the quantitative 3D quantitative structure activity relationship, molecular modeling. These are the techniques which are finding the way and high throughput screening for the drug discovery, and that should be given more emphasis. This is a case of molecular docking. Uh, and bioavailability, bioequivalence has been dealt with only very superficially. Every fish also needs a bigger jar. So does a bioavailability scientist. So the biowaivers can be granted through in vitro in vivo formulations. 3D printing is a one very key area. In 1980s with well हुआ था. 3D printer was developed in 1993. Today, we see 3D printed tissues, blood vessels, and heart valve, prosthetic ears, medical equipment, and tablets. So many other things, and so 3D printing is one area which has taken up our pharmacy profession by storm. That should be also included, if not as a regular course, but as elective subject. And then PAT tools, like near infrared spectroscopy, tricorder, which is involving AI as well, and the techniques like 3D printing, near infrared spectroscopy, terahertz spectroscopy, and others, Raman spectroscopy. These are the techniques which tend to provide, non-invasive kind of spectroscopy. This should be included in the course curriculum. If not in spectroscopy, but in PAT, processing. And quality by design has not been in the previous version. It was overemphasized. 2019 version, QBD was overemphasized. Now, in this case, it was underemphasized. So this is a very important requirement in today's pharmaceutical industry because it tends to provide with product and process understanding. So it tends to provide with basic understanding where you can maximize signal to noise ratio. You see, you hear a noise, you hear a song, you are perturbed. Why can't I hear the noise? Why can't I hear the signal? And why should it be, coupled with noise? This is day-to-day scenario. We hear good things and we hear bad things. So good things are signal and bad things are noise. So signal to noise ratios, and particularly those who are from analysis background understand better. So needs to be understood, needs to be analyzed, and needs to be maximized. This can be done using quality by design. And today we talk about continuous manufacturing, not batch manufacturing. And in US there are hundreds of concerns making hundreds of products through continuous manufacturing. In India, too, a couple of pharmaceutical companies have started continuous manufacturing of their hot-selling products. Now this
Manufacturers of these and other
scientist
packaged
of
goods have
UST
relied on continuous manufacturing rather than
is
batch
talking about.
processes. This more efficiently gets their products on store shelves. So imagine the advantages continuous manufacturing could offer for the pharmaceutical industry.
And this is also requiring basic knowledge of manufacturing and QBD through continuous manufacturing. So I'm closing some of our achievements. Nearly 450 publications, these many citations, industrial tech transfers, um, three already done, two in pipeline, and trained 16 companies, 13 in India and three abroad, on site on QBD, on nanomedicine, on biowaivers, and generated over 7 crores of grants for the university research, so on and so forth. 16 books and 10 books on nanomedicine itself. Three tech transfers, and these are the companies with which we have worked with. Almost all leading companies in India, and Lotus Surgeon in Taiwan, and one company in Mexico in Dhaka, and one company in Canada has been worked on BioVectra with respect to quality website. Many recognitions to our work, global as well as national, and recent global distinction was awarded with Global QBD Award in 2019 in Shanghai, and my students have been recognized as well. American Association of Pharmaceutical Sciences 2012 QBD Award, 2013 QBD Award, and 2016 the Lexi Research Scientist Award, Neuroscientist Award, and QBD Scientist Award to Dr. Rajneet Kaur. All these students, out of them, all are one is sitting in New Zealand, another is in UK, another two are in UK, one is in Canada. Pharmaceutical profession, this stance does not do good. We have to be always smiling and positive and upbeat. And global versus Indian scenario, gap still exists, and that gap needs to be bridged. And in this regard, we should not forget the death of 66 children in Zambia and many others in Malaysia as well, Indonesia as well, due to by virtue of the products manufactured in our country. So Narayana Murthy is sharing his anguish in 22 November, 3 years ago. So we need to work on the integrity issue. So global trends, should we follow them blindly? My answer is no. We must make use of our strengths, overcome weaknesses, harvest current opportunities, meet futuristic threats, and carry out one's work analysis. This way, we can have best of both the worlds and stand apart in the world of mediocres. And to be at par with global standard, we need to fly at the wing pace, and we need to follow luminaries like Professor Krishna Sikhi, the only pharma scientist awarded with Padma Award. Attitude determines altitude, as we need to transform our attitude. A journey of 1,000 miles has to start. Can leave in a nutshell. So PCI syllabus aims at transforming Indian pharmacy education into globally competitive. It promises an updated, flexible, outcome-driven approach. Several challenges, however, remain, like faculty readiness, infrastructure adequacy, alignment with professional realities. Without phased rollout, capacity building of institutions, and active stakeholder consultation, the reform risks at becoming theoretical framework rather than a survived improvement. It will be a theoretical approach rather than an survived improvement. So, final recommendations are: institutions should have freedom to frame part of the content. Rationalize the usage of AI/ML, should not overemphasize. Endeavor should be to attain globally competent contemporary goals while weighing the national pharma realities as well. Revise M-Pharm syllabus simultaneously. In the last exercise, I remember I was part of B-Pharm curriculum and Dr. Rajesh Goel was part of M-Pharm curriculum. So it was done simultaneously to avoid content repetition and improve depth of study. Curriculum cycles should be every 4 or 5 years with midterm review as well. Every 4 or 5 years, the curriculum revision should take place, but in between there should be review, you know. And fresher we should prefer national competency frameworks. That has been done quite recently. Evaluations should be majorly on the basis of the continuous assessment, not on the end semester examination. And we need to continue to explore the feedback of all stakeholders, academia, industry, regulators, etc., for making the pharmacy QMR future ready. I acknowledge heartily, greatly acknowledge the precious pearls of advice of various colleagues like Dr. Girdari Lal Singh, former State Drug Controller, Professor Saranjit Singh from earlier from Naipur, Mohali, Dr. Manish Kapoor, State Drug Controller, Himachal, Dr. Geer M. Ishaq from Srinagar, Dr. Pradeep Mattu, State Drug Controller, Punjab, former, Dr. Sanjay Bajaj, CEO of Glow Star, Chandigarh, Professor Anil Kumar, UIPS Chairperson, Chandigarh, Professor R.K. Somani from Mumbai, and Dr. Sumant Saini from lovely professional university, who happened to be my research scholar and who helped me in some issues with my syllabus. And the day is not very far when Mother India will stand prominently on the world map. Jai Hind. And this is my group. Thank you so much. And I'm available for any kind of discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Bhupen. Thank you very much. An excellent deliberation.
Thank you, sir.
An excellent deliberation. All hands up. All hands up. An excellent deliberation. I was rather forced to go through an entire deliberation. I was forced. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We will share the recorded version to all the participants in the webinar. Now, with your permission, I'd like to request our second speaker, Dr. R.S. Thakur. Please, R.S. Thakur, sir.
Will they operate slides?
Yes.
Please ask them.
R.S. Thakur, please arrange slides accordingly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sharing the slides.
Yeah.
Share the slide.
Thereafter, we'll interact about the different questions you may have.
Yeah, certainly.
Dara, not getting your voice.
Most welcome. Welcome, sir.
Sir, is it visible?
No.
Is it visible, sir?
Now-
Yes.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah.
Now make
Okay,
full
thank you so
screen.
much, sir.
Now make it full screen. Now the cup is there. Click on that.
हमारे दूसरे स्पीकर आए हैं उनका 34 स्लाइड है 34 स्लाइड
Dr. Thakur, start.
No,
Sir, please start.
make it full screen. Full screen.
Make it full screen.
Yeah. But click on this cup, right side down. Click on the cup.
Make the presentation visible full side as per requirement.
Full screen. The icon there to click.
cannot do it. He has to click that full screen.
What happened to slides?
Please see, have you switched over to F5 mode? Have
Because
you
the slide,
your
right side, one cup is there. He has to click on that cup.
Sir, I have done from my side, but it's not visible.
Not visible.
Let me check, sir, please.
This one.
Is it visible, sir?
To me, it is visible. That's editing full screen better. Anyway, let's start. Expected President of IPA, National President, IPA Bihar State Branch. Hello, resource person, Professor Ho, and participants. The topic. Now the slide has gone. What happened? Slide is not visible now. Now it is. The topic I am going to cover is pharmacy practice, National Education Policy 2020 compliant syllabus 2025. So only the pharmacy practice aspect I am going to talk about. And from this title itself, you can find that there are three aspects. One is pharmacy practice, another is the National Education Policy of 2020. And in light of that, what syllabus has been made for pharmacy practice, or what syllabus we expect for pharmacy practice. So all these three aspects I'm going to cover in another couple of slides. Next one, please. Next slide. Next slide. Let's go to first one. This is. Now, what is global thinking on the practice of pharmacy as well as in general? The thinking is that today's education should equip the students for the needs of tomorrow. The progressive thinking is there that the content which is being taught that should not be stale or outdated. Rather, it should be pragmatically designed so that today's students, they are able to face the challenges of tomorrow. And in that aspect, what has to be kept in mind is the ideal profile of the practitioner or the professional, that is the practicing pharmacist in our case. And what are the challenges ahead them? So when we consider this, remain there. When we consider that, then we feel some similarity, and that similarity is to a novel by Charles Dickens, The Tale of Two Stories. And in the first chapter, the opening sentence begins, "They were best of the times, they were worst of the times." And that exactly happens with the course content also. As you have seen in the previous speaker, Dr. Bhup has elaborately discussed about how the pharmacy profession has transitioned from counting, coding, licking, speaking, to counting of tablets, handing over of the ready-made products, and then finally the in practice front, so many modifications have been done based on the scientific research and publications from the practitioners, and that led to introduction of ward pharmacy, clinical pharmacy in 70s. In 90s, pharmaceutical care came in picture, and good pharmacy practices that was adopted by jointly by WHO and FIP in 2011. So changes have been there, and accordingly, whatever was content in those days, they were really best for that time, but for now they are not so much relevant, and that's why the modifications are required. Syllabus is to be changed, and continuously that has to be done to keep the professionals updated. In that context, the four roles where pharmacist involvement or supervision is expected by the society and the individuals they serve. And these four roles are prepare, obtain, stock, secure, distribute, administer, dispense, and dispose of medicinal products, that is, all related to handling of prescriptions. The next front is the pharmacist provides effective medication therapy management, that is counseling, patient compliance, medication therapy adherence, that is the clinical pharmacy practice aspects. The third front in the practice is maintain and improve professional performances, that is application of pharmacotherapeutics, pharmacoeconomics, and pharmacovigilance. Make medication or every prescription more safe and effective. And finally, the fourth front is improve effectiveness of healthcare system and public health targets set by governments of various nations. Go to next slide, please. Next one. Next. What happened? And to perform both activities or to meet the expectations and aspirations of the patients we serve or the society we serve, definitive competencies are required. These competencies are required in conceptual terms, that is theoretical knowledge or delivery of knowledge to the students. The technical competency or skill development to apply those knowledge in real-time job. The third one is integrative competency or the competencies required for critical thinking, effective communication, aesthetic sensitivity, professional ethics, professional identity, and leadership. And these are the areas which establishes a profession on a sound footing and make them indispensable in the society, because they are the people who can meet the expectation of the society and they can meet the challenges before them. Career marketability is another area in that competency is required so that the person fits everywhere, and that encompasses adaptive competencies, scholarly concerns for improvement, motivation for continued learning. And this is where the professional organizations, they come in picture here. because of interactions or clinical meetings or seminars, symposia, they improve this marketability ability. The high rate of morbidity and mortality associated with medication adventures are a reality. Why these four types of competencies are required, the reason behind that is this one. Take any country or go through any paper published on pharmacy practice or medication error, you will find people die not only because of diseases but also because of the medicines. People get incapacitated not only because of the disease but because of the misuse or adventurous use of medicines. So these are the focused areas where pharmacists have saved the society from the menace of the medicine. And that is a major role which establishes the competence or professional status of the pharmacist or pharmacy practitioners. And therefore, the gap between the knowledge, skill, integrative competencies of progressive thinking, reassessment, redevelopment, and career opportunities, marketability, all should be integrated so that the gap between the expectation of the society and the delivery the practicing pharmacist delivers, that gap is filled. That gap is filled. Next one. Next slide. And on the basis of all these, the World Health Organization in 1997 came up with the concept of the 7-star pharmacist and confining everything only to practice of pharmacy. And the 7-star pharmacist, as told by the held by the World Health Organization, pharmacist is in a position to be a caregiver, a decision maker, a communicator, a leader, manager, lifelong learner, and teacher. All these 7 areas of specialization and super specialization, practice ability, a pharmacist has to possess, then only he is pharmacist of this 21st century. So if any curriculum developed by any regulatory agency that should keep these aspects of the 7-star pharmacist, and the curriculum should be designed accordingly so that the professionals who are trained, they are well equipped with modern knowledge, skills, ability, aptitude, and attitude to serve the patient and meet the expectations of healthcare delivery. Next slide, please. So this is regarding the model prescription as the National Medical Commission has published in the Gazette of India on 3rd of August 2023. Next slide. The prescription in the next slide. This is the form of the prescription given by adopted by the National Medical Commission, and the prescription should be ideally in this format where the complete details of the doctor is available, where the complete details of the patient is available, the superscription, the inscription, the receipt, sign, and subscription, the medicines prescribed, and signal the instructions. That. And here you can see that it's not in full form, so very narrow. But you can see the name of the medicine, and on the top in the guideline it is written that it should be in capital letters. The medicine's name should be written in capital letters so that there is no confusion about the product. The name of the medicine, the dose, the route of administration, the frequency of administration, and total duration of administration or therapy. All these should be along with the medicines. Now, each one of us, every now and then, go to physicians here and there and get the prescription, and some of the prescriptions are so illegible that nothing can be deciphered from that. Whereas the legal requirement, their professional requirement is to write the prescription in such a pattern so that there is no confusion about it. And pharmacists or the pharmacy practitioners, professionals, they have to create public awareness about their right to get the prescription in proper format and properly written prescription with complete details of the medication so that there is no dispensing error or no error at the time of administration. And patients are saved from medication errors. So that's why I wanted to keep it here. And this also puts a task on the pharmacists to make the public aware of it, because when they pay the physician for consultation, they have a right to get the prescription in proper format as prescribed by their own agency, National Medical Commission. Next slide, please. So, what are the indices for growth in any profession or any area or discipline of practice? The first is eligibility, and the eligibility comes from degree one possessed. But eligibility, degree only makes a person eligible. To get employed, he needs skill also. Those competencies part were discussed earlier. So then only he becomes employable or industry ready or employer ready. The second index is culture of innovation, essential for continuous progress and prosperity. That's why, in addition to the student life, while earning the degree, in practice life also, there should be continuous improvement of knowledge, and for that, continuing education programs and other should continue. And these aspects are well taken by the professional associations who regularly meet and improve the knowledge of their professionals so that they are able to serve the society in best possible professional manner. The third index is that health is important for economic growth of a company. So economic growth is directly linked to research, back, production, and marketing. And only healthy manpower is able to work, and therefore importance of pharmacy profession, which objective is to keep people healthy, to make medications safe and effective. So they have important role in economic growth of country also, not only your own personal or individual growth in the profession. And finally, healthy nation is a productive and prosperous nation. So therefore, a very important duty is on the profession of pharmacy or pharmacy practice to keep the society healthy so that all walks of life contribute to national development. Next slide. So those were the aspects related to pharmacy practice in brief, the first arm of the title of this presentation. The second arm is about NEP 2020 objectives. National Education Policy of 2020, major objectives related to higher education institution or HEIs is competency-based, formative, and regular assessment. Second is flexible curriculum for creative combination of subjects. Third is strong research culture in higher education. And fourth is use of technology to enhance access, improve learning outcomes, and create Diksha or digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. So these are the objectives set in the National Education Policy of 2020 for higher education institutions, and accordingly, if any syllabus is envisaged in the background of NEP 2020, all these four criteria should be kept in mind. And that one has to assess whether in the new proposed syllabus all these are met, and if any deficiency is there, how to improve upon that. Next slide, please. Next one. The salient features of this 2025 syllabus, which was circulated 3 days back, is number of credits would be 191, flexibility of student to choose electives. 7 salient features are embedded in the syllabus itself that is presented here. The third one is emphasis on experiential learning. Fourth is major and minors, value-added courses or BSc, skill enhancement and ability enhancement courses, that is SEC and AEC, are also included apart from other practical courses. Next slide. Number 5 is 2 mandatory internships included in the 5th semester and 7th semester. It has 4th and 6th semester, it has been included. Then emphasis on research projects at UG level in 2 semesters, that is in 7th and 8th semester given. And number 7 is artificial intelligence and similar new age technology are also included in the curriculum. These 7 are the proclaimed salient features of the syllabus we are discussing now, proposed syllabus we are discussing now. Next one. In the next 5 slides, we present what is the course structure given there. And these are in 5 slides. Name of the papers, theory, practical, all are given. So one after another, you can escape the 5. Next, and then a summary of all these. Go to next. Come on. Yes. Previous. Okay. Okay. Next one. Yeah. So summary of those 5 slides are presented here. Semester-wise, how many theory papers are there, how many practicals are there, altogether, how many they come. So there in those 5 slides, you can find that in the first semester, there are 6 theories and 5 labs. practicals. In the second semester, again, there are 6 theories and 6 labs. In third semester, there are 8 theories and 4 labs. In the fourth semester, 6 theory papers are there, plus compulsory internship, and there are 5 labs or practicals. In the fifth semester, there are 6 theory papers and 4 practical papers. In sixth semester, there are 7 theory papers plus compulsory internship. As I was telling earlier, that in fourth and sixth semester, this compulsory internship is embedded. And in sixth semester, there are 3 practicals also or labs. In the seventh semester, there are 8 theory plus research project and 1 practical or lab. And in the eighth semester, there are 6 theories plus research project and 3 labs. Altogether, there are 53 theory papers, semester 1 through 8, and there are 31 lab papers, semester 1 through semester 8. How much it is? And in addition, there are 2 compulsory trainings and 2 research projects also. This slide elaborates about the electives and the guidelines for the electives. And this slide also is given in almost more than 50 pages as appendix in the syllabus that is under circulation for commerce. So those elective semester wise it is explained there. Next one. Now, the claim of the syllabus is the first 4 semester focus on establishing a strong base in pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, and analytical techniques, complemented by essential courses in anatomy, physiology, and healthcare psychology. The second claim in the syllabus and circulation is the structure blends theoretical understanding with extensive practical exposure, ensuring that students can translate classroom knowledge into professional competencies. And next claim is the Bachelor of Pharmacy general curriculum seeks to produce competent, compassionate, and innovative professionals who can excel in healthcare delivery, industrial excellence, research innovation, and regulatory engagement. These are the claims made in the syllabus that is exactly reproduced there for knowledge of the viewers and assessing how much syllabus which is prescribed that fits into these claims. Next slide, please. Now, since the practice side of pharmacy is associated with medical practice, it is an additive complementary service to the medical practice, and therefore, since the syllabus is so heavily burdened, in my opinion, because of the 84 papers in 8 semesters. So that's why I thought it better to compare it with the MBBS syllabus, which is in force now. It was published in the Gazette of India on 31st August 2024 by National Medical Commission. And their scheme of study is the 4.5 years of the course followed by 1 year of compulsory internship. And the 4.5 years of course is split into phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And phase 3 again is split into phase 3 part 1 and phase 3 part 2. Of these, phase 1 is 12 months or first year is phase 1. Phase 2 is again 12 months or second year of MBBS is the second professional, that is again of 12 months. And part 1 of phase 3, that is also of 12 months or the third year of MBBS course. And then comes part 2 of phase 3, that is spread over 18 months. And the subjects that is covered in these phases, the first year or first professional has only three clinical subjects, that is anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry, and their practicals. The phase 2 or the second professional of MBBS covers again only 3 papers, theory and practical, that pathology, microbiology, and pharmacology. The phase 3 part 1, here the clinical starts. The phase 1 was preclinical and phase 2 was paraclinical, each of 3 subjects. The phase 3 part 1 of 12 months or third year, that has 4 subjects, that is forensic medicine and toxicology, community medicine, second paper, third paper is ENT or otorhinolaryngology, and fourth paper is eye or ophthalmology. That is covered in the third year. These 4 papers and clinical teaching in all. And phase 3 part 2, that is spread over 18 months of 2 principal segments, that is general medicine, internal medicine, and general surgery. In general medicine, besides internal medicine, the pediatrics, dermatology, venereology, and leprosy, and the fourth paper is psychiatry. And on the surgery side, general surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, orthopedics, anesthesiology, and radio diagnosis. The 5 segments of the general surgery. 18 months, 4 and 5, 9 papers are there, and clinical portion is there. And this way they create a person or a doctor who will perform 1 year internship after this. But foundation, the course foundation is this much, who is authorized to prescribe, and the pharmacist has to dispense that prescription. And our course also takes some fruit from this, and similarly, the first year of B Farm, especially for practice side, that should confine to 3 subjects or preclinical subjects of anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry with their practicals, 1 full year. Second year for pathology, microbiology, and pharmacology, that also full year, so that full preclinical and paraclinical knowledge they have, instead of burdening the students with so many subjects, as explained earlier, semester-wise. And in the third and fourth year, the professional subjects of pharmaceutics, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutical analysis, pharmacotherapeutics, pharmacoeconomics, pharmacovigilance, the regulatory affairs, the clinical pharmacy, hospital and community pharmacy in the third and fourth year can they be accommodated to produce a sound pharmacy practitioner who will be as knowledgeable as the doctor also, as well as will have more knowledge about and expertise about the medicines they dispense, they counsel about, and they try to make the medication more safe, every prescription more safe and effective. Or in other words, the pharmacist as a practitioner, he helps in or enhances the success of every prescription, improves the efficacy of the prescription, and protects the patient from the untoward effects of the medicine if not used properly. Their roles are of paramount importance. Next slide, please. Next slide. So, how the pharmacy practice evolved, and till now the status as jointly adopted by the Federation of Federation Pharmaceutical International or FIP and WHO in 2012, 2011 on good manufacturing practices. And not that overnight they came to the conclusions what is embedded in the good pharmacy practices, but they have a long exercise starting from 1994. The World Health Assembly resolution related to role of pharmacists that is in the background of designing the good pharmacy practices. Then the FIP initiative on good pharmacy practices in 1992. Then FIPO and WHO joint document on the experience of the 1992 and 1994 initiatives. The GPP document was published in 1999, the 35th report of World Health Organization Expert Committee on a Specification for Pharmaceutical Preparations. This is WHO Technical Report Series number 855. Next. Next one. And thereafter, in 2006, the Developing Pharmacy Practice, a focus on patient care. This document was published in 2006 to meet the changing needs of pharmacists based on the previous experiences of 92, 94, 1997, and setting out new paradigm Southeast Asian region for implementation. So with this background, the GPP or good pharmacy practice that was developed over a period of more than 2 decades. Next slide. And based on the GPP, the mission of pharmacy practices being readily available to patients with or without an appointment, Another mission is identifying and managing or triaging health-related problems or prioritizing health-related problems in his pharmacy practice. That is one of the mission of pharmacy practice. The third mission is health promotion, how to improve the health of people, not only curative or therapeutic, but the preventive measures that also is important in protecting people from non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases. So health promotion, on health promotion front, the pharmacists have to come forward with educating the society about the preventive measures. Next one is assuring effectiveness of medicine. This comes in the prescription dispensing, that the quality of medicines that is dispensed to the patient, that is fully assured, and then only they will effective if they are used properly, timely, observing the seven rights: right patient, right drug, right dose, right dosage form, right route of administration, at right times of administration, up to right period of therapy. So then only the effectiveness of the medicines can be assured. Another mission of pharmacy practice is preventing harm from medicines or medication safety. Each and every medicine should be safe for the patient. They should be protected from the untoward effects or interactions or side effects of the medicines. That is possible by application of knowledge, dissemination of knowledge, proper briefing and counseling of the patient or their caretakers, training them how to use the medicine so that patient compliance is proper and medication adherence is also adequate. And another mission is making responsible use of limited healthcare resources. Medicines are too costly, and improperly used medicines are not only a waste, but also it affects the pocket of the patient. They purchase the medicine directly for themselves, or on affects the national exchequer when the medicine is free supplied by the healthcare system of the nation, or it falls heavily on the insurance settlers if medicine is not used properly, not prescribed, dispensed, or medication errors are there. And because of the errors, readmission of the patient, longer days of admission in the hospitals, or revisit of the clinic or in emergency. So all these not only increase problem to the patient, but also increase the cost of healthcare and medication. So these are the frontiers, the mission on which pharmacy practitioner globally works, practices, and preaches. Next slide, please. In good pharmacy practice, the practice of pharmacy, whatever has been told the background earlier, that responds to the needs of the people who use the pharmacy services to provide optimal and evidence-based care. Evidence-based medication is very important, and there the pharmacists have, especially the clinical pharmacists, have a major role to educate the prescribers to educate the nurses also who administer the medicines or drugs in the ward, and also train the attendance of the patients, especially in case of pediatric and geriatric patients who do not take medicines by themselves, but others help them in taking the medicine for patient compliance and medication therapy adherence. So the evidence-based medicines in itself is a very vast subject. Its origin goes to Second World War, when a British doctor who was captured by the Nazi forces, Dr. Cochrane, A. Cochrane, he was made in charge of treating all the prisoners of war, and only medicine available with him was aspirin. And with aspirin, he treated all types of cases, whether it is injury, pain, or headache, or body ache, or any other ailment, whatever, in some way he was giving aspirin to them. And people having so much faith in him and the medicine he was giving that they were getting cured also. And from that emanated this placebo effect of the medicines. So this itself became a full-fledged discipline, evidence-based medicine. And in Cochrane database, huge information is available on effectiveness of the medicines, the safety of the medicines, and that is utilized by the practitioners to make medication more safe and effective. The GPP or good pharmacy practice also advocates to support this practice. It is essential that there be an established national framework of quality standards and guidelines in which the government and the policymakers, they have to be proactive to frame the proper structure of pharmacy profession in their healthcare system, starting with Directorate of Pharmacy at the helm of affair, who deals in all aspects related to pharmacy, and a proper network of clinical pharmacists, practicing pharmacists at various levels, so that the pharmaceutical services infrastructure fully supports the requirements of the profession. At the same time, it builds confidence in the people that the medication I receive through the expert hand of pharmacist is properly supervised, properly stored or preserved, and adequate knowledge about the medicine I am going to take has been given to me or passed on to me, so that I can use it safely and effectively and preserve its potential while I have the medicine during the course of therapy. Next slide. Next one. The GPP also ensures, on the basis of what has been told earlier, that the evidence-based medicine and the infrastructure to support that practice, the GPP ensures safe, effective, and quality pharmaceutical care, supply of medicines, patient counseling, promoting rational use of medicines, maintaining professional standards, and the ability to perform these functions that must be embedded in the course content so that pharmacists are fully equipped to meet these expectations. As also health promotion and helping in self-care for minor ailments. Many people take medicines themselves based on their past experiences or observation of others. So they are also for that. Instead of taking suggestion of others, they will approach the pharmacist, and there also the pharmacist has to guide him properly and influencing prescribing practices. This is the most important to stop, if not stop, to reduce medication error, especially in terms of prescribing errors to utmost. And these roles are ideally expected to be performed by a pharmacy practitioner, the clinical pharmacist, or a general pharmacist. They have to give all these services, and for that, government has to make proper regulation and implement it with proper infrastructure or directorate of pharmacy services. Then only that will be possible, and that will be useful both to reduce medication error, that is, protect the patients from the untoward effects of the medicines, as also make every prescription more successful and every therapy enjoyed by the patient. Next slide. So each of the segments covered in this GPP that is explained here related to supply of quality medication. The pharmacist ensures the availability of medication that meet quality standards. That is possible only if proper storage condition is there. Then only quality of medicine can be maintained. Schedule P is there, which prescribes the life period of the drugs and of each and every level of the product. The storage condition, because life period is subject to the storage conditions in Schedule P. The storage conditions are mentioned on the level of each and every product. And accordingly, if the product is properly stored, not only in the pharmacy or in the medical stores, but also while the patient is using the medicine at his her home, there also the storage should be in proper condition, not in the bathroom or kitchen where too much humidity is there or temperature is too high. And also in a country like India where temperature goes up to 47, 48 degree C, as also to 0 degree in some portions of the country. So, and one major lapse in the storage of medicines is all the medicine outlets that must be air conditioned, then only proper storage condition can be maintained. So not only in the hospitals and dispensary, the stores and the pharmacy has to be air conditioned, but all retail outlets or wholesale premises all have to be fully air conditioned so that proper storage temperature can be maintained in the environment of the stores. So that is how the quality of medicine with proper storage and preservation can be preserved. Handling and dispensing of medicine to maintain their integrity, the strip supply or the small piles of liquids that comes, as such it should be given to the patient. and they should be instructed that after taking the dose, the cap has to be replaced properly so that the medicine inside does not get contaminated. At the same time, while opening or clearing the strips, only the tablet which is to be taken out, only that portion should be torn and it should not affect the other tablets in the strip. Then only proper storage condition will be maintained. So that has to be part of the patient counseling. Preventing and addressing medication errors such as incorrect dosage or route of administration, that is, audit of the prescription before dispensing. If any doubt or suspicion is there, the prescriber should be confidentially consulted, and only if he keeps not, then only the product has to be dispensed, or whatever correction is required, that correction is done, and then the prescription has to be dispensed. As also for repeat prescriptions, whether the product has to be repeated or not, that also instruction on the prescription should be read carefully. And only if the instruction for repeat is there, then only the prescription should be repeated. Otherwise, once dispensed, it must be a stamp to dispense, date and signature of the pharmacist. So these are the practices through which quality medicine is supplied and health of the patient is protected. Next slide. Next one. Then, while dispensing, while dispensing the prescription, patient counseling is part and parcel of dispensing the prescription. Not only the product has to be handed over to the patient, but the instructions to consume the medicine, that has to be fully explained in the mother tongue of the patient to ensure that he has properly understood the instructions. That has to be done. Patient counseling has to be very clear, accurate, and understandable information about all the medications given, the gap between the dosage or gap between the 2 or 3 medicines usually prescribed together. All those aspects are to be properly explained. So these are all related to counseling of the patient, proper medication use, to take before food or after food, or in empty stomach or full stomach, and uh, liquids or beverages that should be avoided during the medication. All those aspects, like alcoholic beverages or soft drinks, alkaline beverages like soda. If intercoated tablet is there, along with the tablet, he takes soda also. That intercoated will get challenged, and in the stomach itself, the medicine will disintegrate. Tablet will disintegrate. Whereas it was intercoated with the intention that it will pass the stomach and go in the intestine. So depending upon the nature of the product that is dispensed, the extent of counseling will vary, and nature of counseling will also vary. Addressing patient concerns and answering their questions about the medications. And every time, if any question is from the patient, that should never be ignored, rather properly and convincingly addressed so that the patient is satisfied. Promoting adherence to medication regimen. This is very important for curing the disease or maintaining the patient stable at a particular level, especially in case of diabetes and hypertension, whereas the fluctuation in sugar level or fluctuation in blood pressure will depend upon the proper and adequate use of the medicine. So that's why I was telling that counseling has to vary from product to product, patient to patient, depending upon the nature of the disease, and adequate knowledge has to be applied to give proper and perfect counseling. Next slide. Promoting rational and appropriate medicine use. This is one of the aspect of pharmacy practice where the practitioner helps both the prescriber as well as the nurses who administer the medicine in the wards about the medication. And this aspect of rational use of medicine is also advocated by National Medical Commission in prescribing practice. It has to be ensured by the prescriber. So adequate knowledge about the medicines, the new products, or the prescribing habits of the doctors that should be given, because mostly the doctors depend upon whatever the medical detailing comes from the manufacturer's representative, and they tell only one side of the story. So pharmacist and clinical pharmacist role is very, very crucial in giving a balanced knowledge about the product to each and every practitioner, prescribe the medicine as well as to the nurses who administer the medicine. Then only the goal of rational use of medicine, which is international goal that can be achieved. Preventing misuse, overuse, or underuse of medication. Yes, proper counseling is important. That it is the dose that matters. If it is underdose, not only that, it is not going to be effective, but it may be harmful also. And the large number of cases of antibiotic resistance that is coming out, that is because of misuse, overuse, and underuse of medicines. Misuse, where antibiotic is not required but prescribed and consumed. Overuse, where more than one antibiotic by the same patient. He consults a dentist, he consults an orthopedician, he consults a medicine person simultaneously for different problems he is facing, because now everyone goes to a specialist and all, and he does not show any other prescription to the doctors, or at times they are not willing to see whatever they want to dispose the patient as quickly as possible. They prescribe whatever they want, and then more than one antibiotic is also prescribed and consumed blindly. So that constitutes overuse of medicine. And underuse is the proper duration of medication that is not observed. The medication adherence is not there, or the frequency of administration is not adhered to. So the pharmacokinetic profile of the medicine in the body that gets disturbed, and at times the concentration shoots above maximum tolerable concentration, or MPC, and at times it goes far, far below the minimum effective concentration. So those are the indications that is associated with underuse and overuse of medicines. And in rational use of medicines, These are very, very important ones. Working with prescribers to optimize medication therapy and minimize potential risks. That is, in the practice of therapeutic drug monitoring, the pharmacist has to assess clinical data of the patient, the blood level of the medication taken, the effect of the medication, correlate the data, and then think of whether continuation of therapy or alteration of medicine or whatever the progressive program is required. And that information has to be given to the prescriber so that the prescriber takes proper action. Monitoring medication therapy for effective and safety. This also forms part of the therapeutic drug monitoring. And at present, hardly infrastructure exists for all these because of the absence of directorate of pharmacy in the healthcare departments at center or various states. As a result of that, the condition of hospital pharmacy very dismal. And no proper efforts are taken by the policymakers, either in the national health policy. National health policy also came as back as in 2002, almost 23 years. So policy on pharmaceuticals and pharmacy practices that is not elucidated in the national health policy. And unless that policy is in position, the directorate of pharmacy is in position, proper infrastructure, and a ladder of pharmacy practitioners, right from director through clinical pharmacist up to the pharmacist who dispenses the medicines, stores the medicines, are involved in the counseling. All these is created and enough manpower for that, enough resource material for that, the library, online, offline, all the facilities available in organized manner, then only the goals of this promotion of rational and appropriate use of medicine can be achieved. Simply whatever is prescribed by the physician is monotonously dispensed and consumed by the patient. That is not going to change the scenario, and the goal of health for all will remain a very, very distant goal. Next slide, please. Professionalism and ethical conduct of the pharmacist. This is also very, very important because high standards are to be observed and professional etiquettes are to be maintained, ethical standards with interprofessional pharmacists to other pharmacists and pharmacists to doctor, pharmacists to other healthcare providers. All those aspects are which makes a profession indispensable and interdependent. And that has to be the goal of pharmacy practice, that both the medical practice, the nursing practice are interdependent. They feel the importance of pharmacists, clinical pharmacists, and the medicines they dispense and try to make the medication safe and effective. That must be realized by both sides, the prescriber as well as the workforce engaged in administering the medicine. happens in the wards, that is nurses at the place. If ward pharmacy is there, then pharmacists also will be involved in ward while contributing while administration of medicine to each and every patients also. So this is how the professional ethics and conduct of the pharmacist will improve the professional status and the outcome of pharmacy services. Next one. Other important aspects are maintaining the premises neat and clean. That is utmost for pharmacy because their hygiene and demonstration of proper professional commitment that is exhibited by how pharmacy premises is maintained, proper record keeping of each and every patient so that it can be retrieved anytime, updated regularly, and pharmacists also take part in health promotion, providing information and resources to promote healthy lifestyle and disease prevention aspects, both for communicable diseases and non-communicable or lifestyle diseases. Where also pharmacists have a huge role as a practitioner. But all that will depend upon how the national health policy underlines the role of pharmacy practice in the healthcare and emphasize or creation of proper infrastructure for pharmacy services or adequate delivery of pharmaceutical care that will determine success of goals set by World Health Organization for the pharmacy services, pharmacy practice, and the FIP for pharmacy practice. Next slide. And self-education, medication, the pharmacy. So this is the last one of the discussion about the pharmacies. So here also naturally because pharmacist is most accessible healthcare professional than all other healthcare professionals. To a doctor, you can see him only if you are registered to see him or if you have paid the fees in a private clinic to see him. Then for pharmacy, he does not charge anything, he is available on the counter. So for self-medication, many people approach them and with OTC medicines, they guide them if the ailments are not severe, only for minor ailments. And governments have also authorized the pharmacists, the state governments, and the state health services to treat minor ailments and give medicine, prescribe medicine. The list is there of those medicines. In Kerala, government has formulated it. Odisha government has formulated it, authorized the pharmacists to treat patients in absence of the doctors, but only for limited medicines. That is, and minor ailments. Otherwise, the patient has to be referred. Then self-medication, people also take other remedies also, home remedies, some Ayurvedic already he was taking, some homeopathic biochemical medicines. So those also people are taking. And if they ask about them, pharmacist has to frankly advise about the specialization which he has in the allopathic medicines, not take burden and guarantee for any other stream of medicines. So we have to be cautious in that our expertise should be honored by ourselves also. So that only the field of allopathic medicine in which we are expert, we advise them about that one. This is covering all the aspects of the good pharmacy practice and syllabus for the pharmacists or practicing pharmacists that should incorporate subjects related to all these. Now, this new syllabus should be examined by individual subject experts or group of individual subject experts, and they should determine on the yardstick of WHO, because that should be the benchmark for developing the course for practicing pharmacists on what subjects to be remain. And if there may be overlapping of the subjects also. So next slide, overlapping is there, then that should be eliminated from the syllabus. Now here I have put the chemistry syllabus of, which is current chemistry syllabus of class 11 on the left hand side and class 12 on the right hand side. And if these chapters are repeated in our pharmacy syllabus, then that should be eliminated. Rather, more advanced subjects related to the medicinal chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, that should be there. So the subject teachers, they should ensure that there is no repetition, because now 10 plus 2 syllabus is too exhaustive and basic science knowledge is adequately given to them. That's why in MBBS, BDS, pure science subjects are not there. All applied subjects are the beginning of the course from the first year itself, applied subjects are there. And they may also adopt that model. That's the solution. But the subject experts will be the ideal person and competent to examine this and come to a conclusion. At the same time, if there is overlapping of topics in different subjects, like chances of overlapping, like one example, because I teach taught earlier biopharmaceutics, pharmacokinetics, hospital pharmacy. So the biopharmaceutics, pharmacokinetics part in pharmacology also it may be included. The full complement of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, medicinal chemistry, especially the metabolism related aspect, that is laboratory taken in medicinal chemistry. So if overlapping in those subjects are there, then such topics should be kept in one place only. Otherwise, it gives an impression on the student that, oh, these subjects I have studied earlier and appeared in the exam, so in the next paper, they just neglect them. And by the time knowledge develops and they do not become experts. So as far as possible, the topics should not be repeated in different subjects. So now I call upon all the subject experts, the learned pharmacy teachers of different subjects, examine exhaustively each and every content of their subject, and also interchangeably examine if there is probability of overlapping in other subjects, and then rationalize the syllabus accordingly. So far as the massive force of AI/MI is concerned, already elaborate discussion was put forth by Professor Bhoop, and I fully endorse that. And in fact, I feel that the students who join E-Farm course, their mathematics is too poor. While taking biopharmaceutics, I have found integration, differentiation, the linear mathematics. Too poor they are and simply they memorize. And since our system of examination has also become that each and every subject is confined to some 15, 20 questions that is repeated by rotation year after year. And now major stress is on preparing for those questions, appearing in the exam and getting through. So in that context, overloading is not at all required. And it's not only my suggestion or Dr. Bhoop's suggestion. I had circulated this syllabus to many other people's names. I don't like to, because everybody may not like to be exposed. But each and everyone, especially for AI and MI related, these 8 courses, semester 1 through semester 8, I have asked the opinion. And each and every person has given the opinion that this is unwarranted, not to be comprehended by the students who join pharmacy course. And there is enough AI in our life. Example is, I write a mail, I write a letter to you, and I write there, enclosed, please find such and such document for your perusal, your comments. And then I click to send the mail. The mail does not go, and a notification comes that you have not attached the document. What is it? So my computer, that machine is most learned than me. I forgot to attach the document, but he is reminding me. So it's become in everyday life. And I feel that the younger generation is more adaptive to all these things. They are more expert in computer, more expert in using smartphones or iPhones than me, or people who are of my age or elder to me. So these things are not that only when they are embedded in the course, they will learn. They learn it out of their interest. And therefore, there is no need at all to overload. So if we reduce it, then at least 8 out of 88, 8 will go. Out of 84, 8 will go, and then it will reduce to 76. And in addition also, many other may not be required. So these are the things I wanted to speak about explain about the syllabus related to pharmacy practice. Thank you. Thank you all for giving a patient hearing. Next slide.